You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of imagination. That's the signpost up ahead. Your next stop, the Twilight Zone.
Or the Persuasive Writing Zone. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Laura, and today we are going to talk about non-persuasive writing techniques. Want to convince your readers to do something or agree with your point of view? Okay, that's a silly question. Of course you do. Persuasion is generally an exercise in creating a win-win situation. You present a case that others find beneficial to agree with. You make them an offer they can't refuse without being too manipulative. It's simply a good deal or a position that makes sense to that particular person. But there are techniques that can make your job easier and your case more compelling. Here are 9 strategies that can help you win over your reader. Repetition. Repetition is crucial. It's also critical in persuasive writing, since a person can't agree with you if they don't truly get what you're saying. Of course, there's good repetition and bad. To stay on the good side, make your point in several different ways, such as directly, using an example, in a story, via a quote from a famous person, and once more in your summary. Reasons why. Remember the power of the word because. Studies have shown that people are more likely to comply with a request if you simply give them a reason why, even if that reason makes no sense. The strategy itself does make sense if you think about it. We don't like to be told things or asked to take action without a reasonable explanation. When you need people to be receptive to your line of thinking, always give reasons why. Consistency. It's been called the hobgoblin of little minds, but consistency in our thoughts and actions is a valued social trait. We don't want to appear inconsistent, since inconsistency is associated with instability and flightiness, while consistency is associated with integrity and rational behavior. And it makes you sound like you know what you're talking about, even if you don't. Use this in your writing by getting the reader to agree with something up front that most people would have a hard time disagreeing with. Then, rigorously make your case, with plenty of supporting evidence, all while relating your ultimate point back to the opening scenario that's already been accepted. Comparisons. Metaphors, similes, and analogies are the persuasive writer's best friend. When you can relate your scenario to something that the reader already accepts as true, you're well on your way to convincing someone to see things your way. But comparisons work in other ways too. Sometimes you can be more persuasive by comparing apples to oranges, to use a tired but effective metaphor. Avoid using ineffective metaphors. Agitate and solve. This is a persuasion theme that works well as an overall approach to making your case. First, you identify the problem and qualify your audience. Then, you agitate the reader's pain before offering your solution as the answer that will make it all better. The agitation phase is not about being sadistic. It's about empathy. You want the reader to know explicitly that you understand his problem because you've dealt with it and/or you are experienced at eliminating it. The credibility of your solution goes way up if you demonstrate that you truly feel the prospect's pain. Prognosticate or predict. Another persuasion theme involves providing your reader with a glimpse into the future. If you can convincingly present a mishmash of current events into likely future outcomes, you may as well have a license to print money. This entire strategy is built on credibility. If you have absolutely no idea what you're talking about, you'll end up looking foolish. But if you can back up your claims with your credentials or your obvious grasp of the subject matter, this is an extremely persuasive technique. Go tribal. Despite our attempts to be sophisticated, evolved beings, we humans are exclusionary by nature. Give someone a chance to be a part of a group that they want to be in, whether that be wealthy, or hip, or green, and they'll hop on board whatever train you're driving. Find out what group people want to be in and offer them an invitation to join while seemingly excluding others. Address objections. If you present your case and someone is left thinking, yeah, but, well, you've lost. This is why direct marketers use what is called long copy. It's not that they want you to read it all, it's that they want you to read enough until you buy. Addressing all the potential objections of at least the majority of your readers can be tough. But if you really know your subject, the arguments against you should be fairly obvious. If you think there are no reasonable objections to your position, you'll be in for a shock. Storytelling. Storytelling is really a catch-all technique. You can and should use it in combination with any and all of the previous 8 strategies. But the reason why storytelling works so well lies at the heart of what persuasion really is. Stories allow people to persuade themselves, and that's what it's really all about. You might say that we never convince anyone of anything. We simply help others independently decide that we are right. Do everything you can to tell better stories, and you'll find that you are a terribly persuasive person. This, of course, isn't a complete list. Only you will know what works for you. Give it a try. Thanks for listening, and tune in again for another invigorating episode of Sweet Writing Techniques 101.